Hey guys, welcome to Siffany's Walk with Grace.
Hello.
Grace had a really neat experience that she wants to share with us, but I'm also going to help her kind of understand it today. And she actually hasn't told me about it yet. We're going to learn this together. Although I get to cheat and get the first view because, I edit, so sorry. But anyway, Grace saw her first aura, and that is a really cool experience. I remember when I saw my first aura, and I've only seen three. I just get the feelings, I get the vibes, but I don't actually see them most of the time. But I have seen three, so I know how neat and almost dumbfounding the experience can be. So
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about that today, and we're gonna give her a chance to kind of ask any questions she has or whatever I can do to help process and understand, and maybe some of you can find use from it too.
Yeah, and I mean my hope is for all of that because I had never seen one. I've always thought it would be so cool to be able to. Um and I've been doing the Kundalini yoga. I see colors and some shapes when I'm doing that. That's kind of been my experience even before I started Kundalini, just in my own kind of meditation practices. Um, I I've always known that it's something that I believe everybody has access to. Some of us are like born, and that piece of them is just on and it's natural, and we probably go through life and maybe don't really it's very natural for them. But so it's something that I've always kind of, I can't say that what do you want to say, tried to make it happen. um but
You've always been curious, but you didn't force the attempt.
yeah, curious but didn't force. Yes. So we were on our way to the river walk yesterday, and I love, we just recently moved to Pueblo. One of my favorite spots that we've found in Pueblo is the river walk. Gorgeous area. And the first time that we went, there was this beautiful Indian statue, and I wanted to get back and see her. So when we decided to go to the Riverwalk yesterday, I have to say, and I'm saying this because I think there's something to this. I had a real excitement about going. This wasn't, oh, I gotta go to the grocery store. This is, I'm gonna go see, this beautiful Indian statue. Like, I love the whole thing about the river walk, but there's something about this statue that just, I love her. She's actually wearing, or she's holding, she has a quilt on her. Um, and I love quilting. So, but anyway, so we get there, we're getting onto the river walk, and the first thing I noticed is, there's a lot of people walking around. It's fairly early in the morning before it gets really hot, and coming up on this guy, and I love to say hello to people. So I was kind of looking at him to see if I got eye contact, to say hi. And I saw this. You're gonna have to help me put words to it. It was coming off his shoulders, and
A glow,
it was
right? Almost a
a,
glow.
yes, it was this kind of glow. And I blinked my eyes a few times because I thought, what is that? I have horrible eyesight. So I thought something wrong with my glasses or whatever. And I looked again, and he looked at me, and he said hi to me and smiled, and he just seemed like a real, I don't know, no different than any other stranger really, but it was still there. So I said hi, and he passed, and I turned around and looked at Megan. I'm like, Megan, I saw my first aura. Like, I was really excited about it, but yeah, I
That's
couldn't
cool
wait to
that she
tell
got to
you.
be there.
Yeah, and so was, of course, so was Brian. And yeah, I told them both. I'm like, I was really excited to, it finally happened. But I thought
Yeah.
it was interesting when I shared with you, you said you had only seen three. And I think one of my misunderstandings is that I thought if you saw auras like you always saw auras.
Not necessarily. So I actually have not dug as far into this as I have some of the other abilities that sensitives can have. But from what I've found so far, it almost seems like it depends on the vibrations that we're sitting on. So if you think about it in let's think about it like radio waves. So
Okay.
if you and I are sitting on kilo together, and this person over here is sitting on, I don't know, 96.1 instead of 94.3. We might catch, a little static if we lean a hair to the side, but we're not really going to pick up that signal because we're on a different channel. Um, no, I
Oh,
could be
so like,
wrong.
are you
And
saying we were both kind of on the same channel?
I believe so. I believe
Oh,
so. I think sometimes our bodies will allow us to sense an aura or see an aura if it's something like very, very, very bad, like ill intent, like do not mess with this person, run your butt out of here. But aside from that, if we see an aura that makes us feel happy or peaceful or
yeah.
excited or
And his totally
curious,
did. Yeah.
I think that it's because you share the same wavelengths. So he might have been very close to you spiritually and where you sit spiritually with your beliefs and with your thoughts and with how you function in your daily life.
Oh, how cool. And
That's just
did,
my belief, though. I don't have any kind of scientific backing on this one like I do with some of the others.
yeah.
But
So,
from what
but we're
I
gonna go with
found,
it. I sure.
yeah, the people
Um,
the three that I saw the auras on, I'm a little goth girl, I'm a white witch, and I'm a psychic, so I'm kind of a freak of nature in most people's eyes. Totally fine, whatever, view me how you want. I know I'm awesome. That's all I need. And that's okay. And if it makes you feel better to hate me, then go for it. If that's what makes you smile, it doesn't affect me any. So the three that I saw were actually some really cool people through my life. And they one of them wound up being a very inspirational person to me. One of them wound up being a very close friend, Rachel. She has a really pretty aura. She was actually the first one I saw, and it was when I saw her for the first time in high school.
wow.
um yeah, and I just knew, I was like, yep, we're friends, like, and now
Oh
our
yeah, and
kids
you two
call
have
each
been
other auntie, and like, or
right.
call us auntie opposite. So
Yeah.
it's like sometimes those auras can really guide you to your people, I feel like.
Hmm.
And the colors matter too, but not in the way that one would think. Like, most people hear or see the color red and might feel a little offset, or like red tends to symbolize danger, stop, right? And but when it comes to auras, I don't know what colors you saw or if it was just a gentle glow of like a white light, but a lot of times the more you see them, you'll start to see like layers. So an aura is chi. It's literally chi. It's your
Yep.
chakras shining outwards. And
Hmm.
so there's layers to the chakras. There's seven chakras. So there's going to be layers in your aura, and it's going to tell a story about you. And so it's kind of neat. So you might see red in somebody's aura, but it might be because it's the root chakra that you're sensing, not a negative. If it's a hostel, I tend to get more, they seem very murky. Like there's black mixed into it, but it's
Hmm.
like ew.
You
Why
just
would
kind of have a feeling of, oh, okay.
yeah,
Huh.
it just it from what I've been told, because I haven't seen one that has been offsetting to me. I felt them, but I haven't seen one. But usually it tends to be very murky, almost like you got a crystal clear lake, and then you got the lake that's all black at the bottom, and you're like, I don't know what's down there. That's what the danger ones are.
That's
But
okay.
if you're just sensing colors, there's nothing to worry about, because the colors tend to be aligned with the chakras, which tend to be what you're picking up on by the aura.
Yeah.
And
Okay. So I have
certain
a qu-
colors will brighten more than others. But I'm curious, what did you see color? Like, what did it?
Yeah, well, so my first question, I mean, does that sound well, okay, so what I saw, and it may have gone all the way around, but I just remember the
Like
shoulder
the
area, like
yeah,
maybe like this much in here. And it was white, whitish. I say lavender, but I guess what's the color for the crown?
violet or whatever.
Yeah, but I guess it
I
was
think
that's what I would describe it as. But
okay.
so is that what I saw? And why was it only here? Is that normal? I guess because I always thought that when you saw an aura that it would be like all the
The
way
whole
around the body.
body. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my
No,
first. I'm
I
like,
think
am I not? Because this was the only area, but
well,
in
for
my
it being the
heart,
color, let me check because I also took a picture of what colors were associated with what in that book.
yeah.
Something just told me I was going to need these photos.
Okay. I mean, I would say the crown. The crown is where the violet comes from, but white. It was more white than anything.
All right, let's see here. Yeah, crown is violet, and then the chakra six is indigo, which that's third eye, right?
That's your yes.
Okay, so indigo and violet, that would make sense. Yeah, 100%. And the
Okay.
blue, which is chakra 5, is communication.
That's your
And
communication.
a lot of times people will actually see the blue almost white. Like the blue is so light that it comes off as not to be weird, but like if you look at your window frame behind you, how there's that
Hmm.
like gentle shade of hue just in the corner. But I don't know if
Huh.
it actually looks like that or if it's just in the video. But like almost how that window looks in the video right now is how people
Yeah.
will put the blue for somebody who's very, very good with communication. Um and it varies too, because it could also be a very bold blue. But I think that that's an aura. I think that it makes sense that you only saw it from here up, considering the colors. I think you were seeing his higher self. And I think that your higher self was like, hey, like-minded higher self, I think we should say hi to this guy.
Hello.
And who
Yeah.
knows, maybe you guys see each other on the Riverwalk enough, say hi enough, and you end up exchanging numbers and hanging out for game night. I mean, he might end up being your first buddy there, you know?
Yeah.
You just moved up
Huh.
there, you haven't met people, you might have been drawn there so you can make a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you all of you, not just you, but I
Wow.
mean, but it might have been like almost a signal to you.
That's so cool.
And I
That's so
do think
cool.
you're 100% right the way you started out with like how you said oh, what was the wording? How you started out and you said that the way you kind of sensed it and whatever, like that does seem like normal. I can't remember the exact wording, but
I don't either. Yeah.
but no, I definitely think that was an aura, and I think that it was a very positive one. It sounds like a positive aura, and it so like I
Yeah.
said, I've wound up very connected to the people that I've seen the aura. Um, sometimes you'll get them all the way around, but usually it seems like when people sense the auras, it tends to be more in the upper, like the hips
Upper.
up, kind of
Yeah.
aligned with the chakras in a way.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
hmm
Huh. Wow. Very cool. Very cool. Well, I have to say, I have been working, healing wise. I'm also reading a book that actually you found that I have absolutely fallen in love with.
I will post that in the description below for you guys too, because it is amazing. And if you
Yeah.
want to read it, I'll make sure you have the link
Yep.
and
Yep.
everything, and I'll put a little image of it at the end so you know what it looks
Yeah.
like.
So, and so I'll kind of wrap it up here with just kind of my experience so far with the book. One of the, I mean, there's so many gems in there, but one of them in particular, she was saying, you know, instead of, being angry at whatever's, hurting you and putting it down and that kind of thing, talk to it as if you really care about it. And I was actually thinking about that this morning, how we care for others when they're hurting. you've got all these things going on, and I'm always like, how's it going? How's it feeling? Are you feeling any better? I'm very hopefully I have a comforting. That's certainly my intention, is to be comforting.
Oh yeah.
But yet when it happens to ourselves, right? There's this frustration and
Frustration,
this
yeah.
anger and this, this is not the time for this. I'm trying to do that kind of thing. And so that one really hit me. And I'm like, oh. So another thing we did yesterday was, after the river walk, and both Megan and I we can't do a ton of walking for different reasons, but we got back in the car and we thought, okay, we still have a little bit of energy. We wanted to go to another place. Got there, had a good time, and we wanted to go to another place. But my body, my lower back, my main source of contention, I suppose, was really acting up in a way that it doesn't normally. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. And then I started talking to it, and I'm like, hey, what are you trying to tell me? What do I need to know here? And one of the things that came up for me is, I have a hard time kind of getting out into life. I prefer to kind of be at home. I think because it's safe. I can, whatever I'm doing here, I can stop and pause whenever I need to.
Mm-hmm.
And I can stay in bed if I need to. I can, do bare minimum if I need to. I can, I can pace
Let
myself
people
really
in or
well.
lock people out.
Yeah. So that was one of the things that I felt like it was telling me, is that's an issue for me. And I do struggle with that. Once I get outside and I get going, I'm enjoying myself. But there's this nerve wracking. I even just used the word. Think about the words that we use: nerve wracking. That's what it's like for me when I leave the house. It's nerve wracking. And it is a very nervy kind of pain back there. Like it was shouting at me. And so I'm like, I put my hand on it and I'm like, you know what? Breathe. And I asked it, I said, I really want to do this with Megan. Thank you for sharing with me that this is a problem for me, and that it's not that I have this problem about being outside. I want to be out there, but it's this push pull that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for telling me, but I really do want to do this. I really do want to go to Hobby Lobby with Megan. I really want to go look at Halloween stuff. That's what her goal was. And I'll be darned. And then I took my hand away and I just looked out the window, let Brian drive us there, and I just breathed, and I'll be darned. I got to the store and there was no paint. And I got out and I got in there and we did our thing and we enjoyed ourselves, and I went home and the pain was gone.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I do think being connected with yourself is because our spirit and our body originally start separately. So learning to truly let them find that full
Yeah.
connection, I feel
Uh-huh.
like it is an eye opener. And I'm talking about this one. So
Yeah.
if that's the kind of work you've been doing, it totally makes sense that you have picked up on an aura because you're working on the higher self. And maybe that guy was too. And it's
Yeah.
really cool. And no, some people see them all the time, but for the most part, it seems like it's only if it like they're on your frequency. And correct
Kind
me if
of.
I'm wrong. Like if we have viewers that pick up on auras, please let us know what you think. I would love to hear your experience with it. Like I said, it's not been my main focus, but that doesn't mean that I haven't looked into it quite a bit as well.
Yeah.
But please, we'd love to hear what you think as well.
Yes, absolutely. I mean,
And what is your
I'm really
experience?
curious. Yeah. Let us know if you have experience, how you feel about it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Love to hear. So, okay.
Yeah, I would just say keep practicing, and if you run into that guy again, see if it's still there. See if you sense any more colors. See if you sense anything
Yeah.
else from it. Because the more we utilize them, the more that the more we'll get them, and the more that they can help us too. They're not, some people fear it as if it's a bad thing because it's, again, we're back to the unfamiliar territory, but it I love my gift. I do. I'm not going to say it doesn't come with a downside once in a while, but I love my gift. I wouldn't change it. And so the more that I learn to use it, the more comfortable and excited I am to continue using it and to see how much farther I can take it.
Yeah.
Um yeah, so and I will say I've noticed differences. Like, I've had immense things happen lately that were just mind-blowing. Um there
Cool.
was yeah, there was someone that passed away, and the heart was involved, and my heart was, I almost woke my other half up and was like, take me to the hospital, because like it felt like someone was just squeezing my heart, and I didn't know what the hell was going on. And then the next morning we get the news, and I was like, holy crap, what? But it wasn't just my heart, it was like the heart and the chest area, and both of those were kind of integrated together on what happened. And so, and the crazy part is I'm not even that connected to this one. So like it wasn't like we had built this strong emotional connection with each other. And like, usually those are the ones I pick up on if I do. And I always know when somebody's going to pass 3 days in advance if I have that connection, but I didn't. And so it really confused me for a second, but I'm taking it as an opportunity to try to further that. Like,
Yeah.
I, even if I would have made calls, I wouldn't have thought to call this person, because like, not that heavy of a
Yeah.
connection for me. But my other half is seriously connected to their family. And so I think my connection to him and his connection to them is what led me to being able to pick up on it. And
Yeah.
granted, that was a little scary, but at the same time, that's part of my ability. And not everybody has that part naturally.
Sure.
Like, some people have to work really hard to even think about getting there. Some people, that's what they get. It sounds like you're more in the auric field, which I would rather you be in anyway, because I feel like what mine are might be a little more intimidating for you. But picking up on auras and
Yeah.
stuff, that's a fun one. That's a fun one. And it's such a, you know what kind of person they are right away. You sense
Yeah.
it. You're like, oh, you are such a light, gentle, happy, fluffy, I love you. Like, and it's, you haven't even said hi yet, but
Yeah.
your energy's already connected with each
The
other.
energies are connected. Yeah. Huh. Cool stuff.
Yep. And I know that you're on a time limit, but if you have any more
Yeah.
questions, I'm here. If you need to go, we can call it.
Okay. Yeah, we might come back to it another time, but yeah, and I think, for you, I think it's important to, we need the medical system. The medical system's awesome. We need it for certain, but to try to connect with it first, because thank goodness you didn't go to the ER.
Right. I'd have
Um,
been strapped to an EKG and them going, I don't know.
and them telling you you're fine. So yeah, me too.
Yep.
I mean, I could have came home and put a patch on and down some Motrin and,
And missed
went to
out on
bed
that
and
time together. And
yes, and would have missed out on that time together.
yep.
So I guess that's my point as we close, is to start looking at these things differently. Look at
Yep.
it a little bit more compassionately. Look at it as, is there another layer here for me? Let's pause the medical side. It's there if I need it, absolutely. But what's what's happening inside of me? What's the question I need to ask? And for you, I mean, you
Yes.
found out afterwards. For me, it was almost immediate. But some cool, exciting things. And I was really excited about talking about this. So thank
Yeah,
you. I
definitely.
want to
You're
hear others,
welcome.
other stories too. And we'll have to definitely share that book because I love some of the things that
Yes.
she's saying in it.
Yeah,
So,
I'll make sure that I put the picture at the end of the video here for you guys, and then I will
okay.
also put a link directly to it in the comment section to make it easier.
Okay.
That way you don't have to like hunt down the title. You just click the link, call it a day. But guys, when it
Awesome.
comes to this stuff, and I don't want people to get scared by what I just said either. Like, Like I said, it has downsides, but it also has upsides. And the thing is, unless we embrace it and cherish it, like either it's going to happen and you're not going to know why it's happening to you, or you're just going to miss out on the experiences that you could potentially have if you were to allow yourself to embrace that side of you. And I
Yeah.
do think you're 100% right. I think we all have the seed planted, but have we taught it to grow? Have we decided to allow it to grow? And for
Yeah.
some it might be planted a little deeper than others, and that's okay too. And but it is really neat being able to experience the things that I've experienced and help the people I've been able to help in the ways I've been able to help them. That's been a game changer. And picking up on auras, whether you see them, feel them, people call them vibes, whatever, that's a game changer too, because you basically immediately know if someone is a danger to you or not, if someone's gonna be right up your alley or if they're gonna be way across the football field. And it makes it easier because you don't start the friendship and then find out later and then everybody's sad. Like,
Mm.
personal opinion, but
Yeah. Cool.
yeah.
Um, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Any final
And
thoughts or
nope. Nope, that's it. I gotta get going. So
all right.
yeah.
Well, thank you for watching, everybody, and thank
Okay.
you for opening up, Grace. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for you.
Thank you.
Of course.
Okay. I'm excited for you too. You keep up the non-smoking. I really feel like you've got it this time. And
I think
yeah,
so too.
yeah. And excited for both of us on this journey of, listening to the body and finding out what it wants and what it needs and how it's connected to our beliefs. So,
Oh,
yep,
definitely, definitely.
yep.
And have fun with it.
So, yeah, absolutely. Have fun. So, okay. Well, thanks everybody for watching.
Thank you for
And
joining us again. And like I said, leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Definitely check out that healing book, though. It is amazing.
yeah. Okay.
All right. Until next time.
Okay. Bye.